Hello and welcome back to the Mr. Persistence YouTube channel. My name is Jacob Vanderstein, and today we're going to talk about skepticism and how applying it in your life can be one of the greatest ways for you to improve the quality and the success that you can achieve in your life. Now, skepticism, you may have heard of this in the context of things like religion, science, technology, business, education, academia, etc. Really, where there is some established authority or status quo, there is the opportunity to apply skepticism. Now, one of the ways that most people don't apply skepticism in the appropriate manner is towards their own self and their own limitations. Most people apply skepticism to doubt and limit their own abilities. And skepticism is great because as a filter for your view of the world, it allows you to not be naive and not be sucked into different things which may not benefit you, and to really question and search for truth across different areas in your life so that you can find what really works for you and the goals that you have in your life. Chances are that if you're watching this video, or if you're a striving person, you have goals for yourself, or if you're not, chances are you are far too skeptical of your own ability. There are likely countless filters that you're applying and barriers in your own mind that you are living behind, which do not need to be there, simply because you are too skeptical about your own abilities. Now, I'm definitely one of those people, and I have been throughout my life, but I've always had a bias for action, the bias to drive forward and be persistent and believe that even if you can't conceive of the way that you can break through something that is holding you back, that there could potentially be a way that I don't understand, and if I just go do the work, I will get closer to figuring that out. And that definitely works. But there are better ways to do it, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about. So the first thing is to out and elucidate all of the things that are limiting you. And those are so easy to find because your mind does it 24/7. It just, in this case, is going to require you to step back for a moment and say, what are those thoughts? And just be present there, observe throughout the day, throughout different scenarios, throughout different situations, throughout a week, throughout a month. Keep a log of all of those limiting beliefs, the thoughts about you can't do this, or you shouldn't do that, or that's not going to work, or I'll never be good at this, or I'll never grow, all of those kinds of thoughts. And right now, your mind, your subconscious mind, and your way of going about life is complicit with whatever those are saying. And that is really the heart of what holds you back. So again, step one, list them all out so you know exactly what they are. And this doesn't actually need to take a month. You can do this in a much faster process if you put everything aside, you turn your phone off, and you really connect deeply, you meditate, or even just relax and really turn your mind towards the thoughts that appear. The second step is to disidentify from those thoughts. Now, I learned this from a book called The Power of Now. And there's many successful people who have read this book and it has changed their lives. And it definitely did for me. And you could probably use any type of meditation for this, but The Power of Now was specifically helpful because it really divorces our perception of meditation from observing presence. And you've definitely heard a lot of different people say that over the years, but it really comes from, in this context, that book. And to observe presence means to not even observe your breath, common in meditation, not observe your thoughts, common in meditation, and not react and all those kind of things, but to observe the space between your thoughts. Just like one can put spaces in between their words, you're looking to observe the spaces. And it doesn't need to be spiritual, but the whole point behind that is that you are not your thoughts. Likely when these thoughts come into your mind, whether conscious or unconscious, whether you're actually thinking it, or it is a feeling internalized in your body that's elicited when there's a specific situation which brings out that defense mechanism of your mind, because that's exactly what it is, either conscious or unconscious, that will come out and prevent you from taking some sort of action in some way because we identify with it. But you don't have to. You can identify with the space in between your thoughts, because what really are you? You are a human being in a body that has a consciousness which experiences thoughts. Are you the thoughts? No. How many thoughts have you had that you go, that's just ridiculous? You probably have 10, 15, 20 observable scenarios and situations in a given day where you think, why the heck did I think that? The point is that you are not your thoughts. You are not whatever those limiting thoughts and beliefs and barriers are. Those are not you. They're just things that are existing based off of formative experiences that you've had throughout your life. If you can create a space there, you've now created the opportunity for step 3, and that's to ask yourself questions. And skepticism properly applied is, what is true about this? Is this even true? Are there things that are true about this? What are the things that are true about this? What are my true feelings that this thought is being derived from? All these kinds of things. What situations, circumstances, scenarios, or experiences that I have in my life which made me think or believe that this was the case? So if you had a sales job once and it didn't go well, and you now think that you cannot sell, this really brings to my mind Growth Mindset, another book that's by Carol Dweck. It found that the kids who did the best in school were the ones who had a growth mindset. And that growth mindset is that wherever you are in life in a given area, whether that be sales, whether that be relationships, whether that be money, whether it be self-belief, self-confidence, your health, your skills in anything, even a video game, it doesn't matter. It's not a fixed state. It is a state that changes and fluctuates based off the time and the energy and the emotion and the work that you put into things. So an entrenched area that a lot of people believe they just suck at is mathematics. But what they found, and many other studies have corroborated this, even I believe in Freakonomics, a book that studies the flip side of what we believe to be statistically true, and helps us to realize that in a statistic, there is so much more to be understood. Let's say, for example, most people believe that your skill in mathematics is a function of your IQ. And to some degree, that can be true. But what it really found was that your skill in mathematics in schooling is really derived from your ability to sit down and focus on a problem and push through for a long period of time. Now that requires persistence, and persistence is one of the most valuable characteristics. It's why I named myself or my YouTube channel after persistence, Mr. Persistence. So now let's continue to apply skepticism to all the different areas of your life that you perceive that you are lacking or insufficient. Develop and apply that growth mindset and realize that wherever you are at is just a current state in time, and it is not reflective of your ultimate capacity or ability. Now, I have experiences in this as an entrepreneur. In fact, I personally believe that entrepreneurs experience these things more often, or really anybody who's trying to achieve significant things in life. It could be a musician, you could be an artist. If you have goals in your life and you're pushing towards them, you will have these kind of doubts, and you're going to experience them more than other people because other people simply ignore them. So this painful stuff of breaking through and working through and asking yourself the questions is extremely fruitful, and you can experience great change in a short period of time if you follow the steps we've talked about in this video. So the final step would be, after you've really worked through and asked as many questions as you need to break down the constituents of a belief, the final step is to put it into action and test your newfound understanding of that particular area. So let's go back to the sales example. If you're struggling to achieve a certain degree or dollar revenue in your business and you've been feeling stuck, you have to break down the constituents of that belief, figure out what's true, figure out what's not true, and then really understand what drives success in that given area. Because you could be perceiving that you need to be better in something that really doesn't drive the results that are needed for you to actually get better at that skill. So break down the 1 or 2 real KPIs. It could be spending more time in front of customers and making more offers. If those were your 2 core KPIs when it comes to improving sales, and you measured those, and all of a sudden you work consistently and repeatedly on getting those higher and higher, then the close rate will follow because your skill will follow. You could apply this to relationships, but the KPIs might be different. You could apply this to leadership, but the KPIs might be different. All in all, at the heart, it comes down to that process which we just went through and applying skepticism. So you don't believe everything you're told. You're not naive to your own potential and your capacity because of past experiences or future perceptions. If this video was valuable, subscribe to this channel because I will be releasing a lot of videos like this. We have the Titans of Today podcast where I interview tons of world leaders in business, technology, finance, investing, and beyond to help you gain the insights that are needed for you to break through in your life. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.